He played 2 matches yesterday, so I think he'll be a little stiff. And so if he's done the right thing, he would have had a really thorough warm-up before coming out here and really tried to flush himself either on the bike or just straight from the practice court. Amazing practice court here.
Stefanos Tsitsipas for Team Europe to serve.
Well, we kind of know what to expect from Team World, and we certainly know what to expect from Rafael Nadal on a doubles court, but maybe the unknown quantity here, the bigger unknown quantity, Stefanos Tsitsipas.
And a good start from Kyrgios. You know, the thing that the world have the advantage here is that these two have played together before. They know each other well, they combine well, they communicate really well. Down the other end, they haven't played together. Now, Tsitsipas, for me, is the best volleyer of the young generation. But we'll see whether he and Rafa can communicate the same way. When balls go through the middle, who's going to call yours, mine, who's going to take it? Yes, Rafa will take control in terms of energy and building it, but that's what we'll see Sok and Kyrgios really try to open up.
Great shot from Sok there. Bullet of a forehand down the middle of the court. No angles for Tsitsipas to work with. Interesting that he's elected to serve and stay back here.
Yeah, and he's a very good serve volleyer. So it's a tentative start straight away.
Does have this left ball toss, doesn't he, Todd, that makes it a little difficult for him to serve and volley.
100%, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
No, you're spot on, as we saw there. He lands in the court, falls left, and he loses a second and a half of actually moving forward and having just a lovely momentum. You know, all in all, that's something he's got to work on to get better, even for his singles. Take a look at it here. Watch where he goes. Gets out of there. When he landed there, his left foot landed on the service line. He didn't propel at all into the court.
And his toes point left as well. So, you know, to get your first step, your big first step that you need to cover the ground is impossible for him. First break point saved by Team Europe. Kyrgios doing everything within his power legally to put him off.
Oh, that's a brilliant start from Team World. Kyrgios got to be careful there because you can maneuver slightly, but you can't start doing star jumps in that box. Otherwise, you give the point to the other guys. You can't sort of be trying deliberately to take their eye off the ball in such a manner.
It's just too good. It's too pacey. Look at the work that he gets on it. He hits it that hard, and look how short it ended up. Sok and Kyrgios, who teamed up last year to win in Lyon. That was the last time they played with each other. They had played a number of times before, a couple of times before that. That's just the one title that Kyrgios has on the doubles court. To his partner, who has racked them up with so many different partners that he has been tagged the best doubles player in the world.
Three majors to his name. 2 of those he won with somebody I think probably could deserve that title, one of the Bryan brothers. And good stuff from Kyrgios. The first Grand Slam title he won with Vasek Pospisil. But I think there's some others out there that could claim that title too. The French combination, Nicolas Mahut and Herbert, have won all 4 majors together. But in terms of somebody you would select in a team like this, has the ability to come out and play with various partners, Jack certainly is the star of that.
14-15.
Red the colour of an inferno, and that's what this start has been from Team World. Razor sharp, red hot, just what they needed after the disappointment of the last couple of singles.
Game Team World. Team World leads 2 games.
There's plenty of other things to take your eye, your fancy, and money out of your account if you so wish to purchase a bit of merchandise out there. But it is a lovely, spacious area here for the fans, and packed inside, not a seat to be had, but plenty of room outside for you to come here and enjoy the tennis.
It's quite an incredible venue. Just over 100,000 square meters of space has been used to showcase this year's Laver Cup, all under one roof. Extraordinary.
Almost the same size as your guest house back in Melbourne, isn't it?
51.
Looking forward to coming to stay in January.
Yeah, you're welcome. We'll put you out the back.
It's got its own zip code, I hear.
When I mentioned Tsitsipas being the best volleyer of the young generation, he has the ability in his singles and even on the doubles court to flow more naturally where the ball goes. He goes to the right places. It's instinctive, more so than Rafa. Rafa's a very, very good volleyer, but he's had to learn that. He's worked on it, learned it. It's more intuitive from Tsitsipas. Here's an interesting one too to keep your eye on for all the people at home. I'm a bit of a believer that once the rally starts, your eyes need to follow the ball to move in the right place. And if you watched Tsitsipas right then, he was just looking straight down the court. So he's got no idea where the ball's coming or going to off Rafa's racket. So then it's actually hard for him to follow the flow. So keep our eye on that. See what he does throughout.
Big swing on the volley from Tsitsipas. So you're saying that you should track the ball as the net player.
So you have a bit of peripheral vision. You know, your eyes are sort of looking down the court, but you need to know where's Rafa going to hit it. If he hits it cross court, I need to stay and cover my line. But if he hits it through the centre, I can ease my way to the centre to be looking to help and cover off. You've got to know the angles, and you can't know the angles if you don't know where the ball's going.
Tsitsipas doing a good job of defending the net this time.
Didn't need to play that one then.
Great reactions from Kyrgios. Tsitsipas with a little bit of self-preservation there rather than an actual volley.
Playing a bit of an eye formation here.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning.
Advantage Team World.
The serve didn't quite get onto the hip of Kyrgios. Tsitsipas not out of that crouched position fast enough to cover the court. He knew where he was supposed to go. There's a break point for a double break to open this first set. As soon as Rafa was stretched there at the single-handed backhand, both of Team World should have been at net. There was time to get there and take control. They both stood back, hesitated just enough.
is this? Onslaught of power ground strokes from Team World.
Advantage, Team Europe.
But some of the finest reactions you'll see here from Tsitsipas.
Yeah, good stuff. You know, it's interesting because Kyrgios played with Tsitsipas over the US summer. He'll know where he's good and not good on the doubles court.
Game, Team Europe.
Tough hold, huge hold, but it keeps them in this opening set.
Team
But
World
it is
leads
Kyrgios
2 games to 1.
up a break.
Crazy start, but what are you going to do? Great hold out the net, super solid. Just keep moving forward. You can't go backwards every bet, so. But yeah, keep swinging. Huh? Don't be scared, because good things happen when you.
I think I should swing a little bit more on my serve too. Like it comes too fast and it just blocks.
Maybe. They connected well.
Yeah, they return very well.
Because
just change a little bit the slice, because if not the ball speed is fine. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Look, they're not going to return like this every time, so don't change everything because of this one.
No. They return like 3 in a row, you know.
Yeah, okay.
The first one was on the net.
Yeah.
One on the line there, the second one.
Yeah, don't worry about it. But this is what it's going to take for them to break you. Okay.
Time.
It's all right. Let's go.
Well, another change of ends there where we've just been mining coaching gems, haven't we, from Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal. They're just trying to help Tsitsipas here.
The Tsitsipas is worried, what do I need to do? What do I need to change? And Roger says that, no, they have returned unbelievably well. They can't keep that up the whole time. And he's right. But I think the quality will be good, but they will have a level at some point where it comes down. Jack Sock to serve for the first time.
15 love.
Enjoyed watching Kyrgios play doubles like most Australians. We grow up playing singles and doubles from a very young age, and he was the same. Of course, he's an Australian Open and I think a Junior Wimbledon doubles champion as well. So played those majors, getting the feeling of that. For big advocates down under at making sure you try to bring all elements of the game of tennis into it, so you learn how to transition forward, you learn half volleys, you learn to be at low volleys, you learn to hit into precise locations on the return. So much to be gained from it.
I think the return is one of the big things that gets lost at times. We talk a lot about serving and volleying and improving your volleys, but wow, playing doubles can help your returns immensely. Some good well-placed serves there from Jack Sock. Of course, Rafa with 11 titles, one of those coming, of course, at the Olympics, one of those golden medals that you have at home, Todd.
You know, I think it's always been a great joy for me to watch Rafa win them, to watch Roger Stan win them, because it just shows you the importance of the Olympics and also, you know, representing your country, and it's been really good.
Left, first
Can't
service.
forget that he was pretty good on the doubles court at a young age before.
Yeah.
Obviously, he kind of started specialising pretty quickly for the singles.
Yeah, but he's always used doubles early in the season to sharpen himself up. He's played a lot on clay early in the season. It's no accident.
15 love.
I truly believe too he used doubles at a period in his career to work on his returns, to practice standing up, to then go to the grass court season to not be so deep, and so that his returns were a better quality standing closer to the baseline. And he can put that down as one of the reasons he's been able to win a Wimbledon championship.
Oh, got it. Oh, he's gone.
There's a bit of world wrestling to the reaction here. It was slightly delayed. Oh, it was nearly.
Not sure it was delayed.
No, it was nearly all over.
Great hands from Jack Sock to stay in that rally. That was phenomenal from the American. Rafa made, of course, the semis of the US Open in doubles with Tommy Robredo all the way back in 2004. Robbie Koenig will remember that one, because he lost to him in the quarterfinals. Robbie playing with Travis Parrott.
Game, Team Europe.
Well, a highly charged and highly energetic opening 5 games with Team World up the break 3-2.
In the middle of the point, he fully heard me, and then you made 2 ridiculous reflexes. And then I don't know why, when you done like kind of short volley, I'll move forward first. That's just sort of just lined up. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I'm in some serious trouble with it. Like, dude, it actually wasn't a fast one. It was clean in the back. It was like right there, like. And if I had dropped it,
That was Oscar winning the move after it, though. They've been so good for this competition.
Time.
Roger Federer chatting about this not needing to matter as much to Europe, because of course they've still got to win a couple of matches tomorrow, whether that's in the doubles first up again tomorrow or the singles. But very important, you feel, for Team World, not just purely because of the scoreboard, but purely because of just going to bed tonight just feeling a lot better about things after the last couple of singles. So far so good as well in terms of achieving that goal.
And this is what I like about Tsitsipas as a thinker. He didn't overplay that little backhand. He just pushed it into the center of the court, an absolute right angle. Really smart little shot from him.
Interesting to see just how Tsitsipas does in doubles over the years, because he made the final in Miami earlier this year. Where's it Kulov? But just the fact that he takes those big swings on the return, whether that will hamper him a little bit. Obviously, that is the case at the moment, but as you've just been highlighting, Todd, Nadal perhaps using doubles to actually improve his own game, and that is something that certainly the Greek superstar can learn on this in this format.
Yeah, I think for him to go the next step in his singles career, it's actually a really smart move, because his game style is going to need a lot of what doubles actually provides. That sneaking in, hitting returns coming in. He did that beautifully at the Australian Open to defeat Roger Federer along the way.
40-30.
Rafa went looking for the centre just a tad early, and a great pickup from Kyrgios.
Team World lead 4 games to 2.
I mean, he has so much talent at his disposal. Look at this shot.
Yeah, really good hands and understanding of where his racket face is. He always has a lot of time to keep the strings on the ball. That was a really good example. You know, he held the face so that he could hold that shot for as long as possible, and that gives him control. A lot of players don't have that. They have power, they have other things. That's really good hands.
That's such a natural return for Nick, isn't it, on the due side?
Yeah, just lays it open. I'm a bit worried that Tsitsipas isn't covering where he's been told to. A bit slow to get out of that crouch position.
It's
interesting, if anyone was watching the doubles yesterday, I was talking about Alexander Zverev standing at net and how wide he was standing when his partner's serving. When you stand that wide, and we're going to look at Tsitsipas here, the first thing you have to do is pick your foot up to move it. It's an easy put away, but if you have to move quickly, you have to lift your foot, you have to get air time and then get your foot across. You will move faster, better, and keep more steady with your head if you have your feet at shoulder width apart. You can get down comfortably, and then you can actually leap to either side to cover if you need to. But from a very, more so like he is here now. But from such a wide base, you actually are slower. Your first move is to actually prop up, and that's not what you want to pick up a tough volley.
Whoa.
30-15.
Mile-an-hour forehand, and he had no time to pick that up as well, had it come over. Good solid hold. Dropped the opening point, but never look back after that.
Team World leads 4 games
4-3, Team World.
Patrick, I just want to sneak in here. You were a great doubles player back in the day. What is it that makes Jack and Nick so good?
Well, Jack is incredibly quick and explosive, and you know his forehand is a huge weapon. Serves well, anticipates the play well. Nick is really solid. As Nick says, his job is to serve well and return well when he plays with Jack, because Jack is kind of all over the court. So I think they complement each other well. Obviously, they have great energy together. They're great friends, and you know it's a bang-bang type of tennis, and they both do well in that situation.
Anything they're particularly targeting against this team?
Well, not particularly. I mean, I think we know that Stefanos hasn't played a lot of doubles, even though he obviously has a lot of skill and a lot of ability. Rafa has played well here in Laver Cup in doubles before, but you know, they know what they need to do.
Okay, Patrick, thanks. Enjoy the match.
Nothing's going well for Team World. Happy with proceedings. You talk a lot about the juice guy trying to build pressure.
Yeah, 100%. That's the job of the first court, is to, if you can get that first point, then you can free things up. I was always taught, no matter what, make him put a volley away, do something, but just don't miss a return. If you have the solid guy on the first court that gives chances, your job is to give your partner break point opportunities, and that was the role that I played. And you can have a flary player on the backhand side, because you know eventually they're going to come up with something quite special. It might take him a little while, but that's the philosophy.
15 on.
I think that's a bit of what the Team Europe combo is thinking here. Rafa will make a lot of balls back into play. Stefanos can come up with that flary backhand, you know, perhaps at the right time at some point in this match.
Spent a little bit of time with him in Dubai in the off-season, because I was working with Maria Sakkari then, and they played actually mixed doubles in Holman Cup, and he wanted to play on the ad side because he said he loves that single-handed return cross-court. He likes that shot to flick it cross-court. It's not always the easiest for a single-hander, but that's the shot he actually likes.
40-15.
But Jack Sock's given him the fake kicker serve there with the ball toss, flipped it up the tee. Tsitsipas has not read that. More positivity from Team World.
Team World leads 5 games to 3.
You've done a lot of coaching, you just mentioned that.
15 long.
How are you going to go about the team, about the Tsitsipas serve? Does it stand up over time, the way he's currently serving, the technique that he has?
For me, no. I think it's a big issue, personally, because I think it takes away his ability to use his athleticism to get to the net, to use on it in his good day. Look, he beat Roger at Australia, and everyone was talking about what a great win it was. Of course it was, but he still had to save 12 of 12 break points. That was just one of those days that it went well for him on the big points. Roger only had 3 break points. I think he lost, you know, he saved 2 of them. So from that point of view, sometimes those results, as great as they are, and they shouldn't be discounted, perhaps mask a few things that you still need to improve, and you can kind of get a little carried away.
I tend to agree with you. I think both physically, it's not a smooth action. There's pressure on shoulder, there's pressure on hip, potentially back, and then also it's the balance after it, and it doesn't give him the best at the next or first shot.
40-15.
So when that ball comes back, he's still recovering in terms of movement.
Leander Paes, as I noticed, has been floating around in the Tsitsipas coaching box, whether that's something that they're going to think about. But I think that's something they need to think about carefully, because ex-players are great in certain areas, but how much have they done technically in terms of changing something? Generally very little, and Jack Sock for once doing very little with that particular ball.
Team World leads 5 games to 4.
Nadal, Tsitsipas will have to break to keep this opening set going.
Right, a lot of energy in this game. Get the first point, you know?
They're going in and out a little bit, flashing. We get a couple of first points here. We're back into this, okay? Come on, guys. Come on. Here we go. Great service. Good service.
Very good service, Stefan. We need to make some more returns.
Absolutely. It's going to come. We're going to get our chance. When it comes, we take it. Come on, boys. Come on. Here we go.
Think about getting more returns into play. You've got Nick Kyrgios coming out now, who's so accurate in terms of corners, and that's where Jack Sock can have a field day at net if he makes first serves. It's going to be a tough one to break here.
Camera lens firmly on the Team Europe return position here. Nadal at the change of end saying, Stefanos, we need to make more returns. Well, that's certainly easier said than done against this man. Exhibit A.
Yeah. What makes his serve so good is the ball toss sits in the same place, so it's very hard to read. He can hit both corners off the same ball toss, so in some ways you're having to guess a little bit as a returner. You have to feel what his patterns are. You sort of start to lean one way, and if you have lent, then it's very hard to recover.
His linear shots have illuminated the stadium tonight. Whether it's been off the backhand, this time off the forehand, and there is absolutely nothing that Tsitsipas or Nadal has been able to do. They have been turned into spectators to his brilliance. 3-set points.
First service.
First set. They were fiery when they came out, fast out of the blocks, and they never ever let up, and they never ever looked like getting broken back. Team World takes the opening set, the last match of the day.
No, well, that set really was one about a combination that have played together, and I mentioned at the beginning, communicate well together. I think that Team Europe is as good as Tsitsipas can play and maneuver around the court. He's playing sort of silo doubles at the moment, and it's making it tough for Rafa. And silo, in the sense that I've mentioned that when he's at net, he's just looking straight down the court, so he hasn't got a natural instinct and flow to this. And that was, for me, the difference in that opening set.
If you were down there with Bjorn Borg uttering a few words of wisdom, and there are a few from Bjorn at times, would you get Stefanos to drop deeper because he hasn't learnt a block return yet?
Yeah, well, I would be saying to him, actually, just let's try and block them back. Let's not take big swings, and we take a look at the stats there. But look at the serving. It's hard to break when you're serving at 80%. Both teams there at 80% was just the start from Kyrgios and Sock in that first game was just brilliant. But yes, you've got to go back a meter, just come forward, try to get the racket on the ball, get it back into play if you can.
Time.
I'd also get him to come back just a little bit at net, maybe half a meter.
Second set. Team Europe to serve.
Nice shot from up high of the third home of the Laver Cup. It's been another wonderful edition, and there'll be lots to play for on Sunday. Whether the difference between the two teams will be 6 points or 2 remains to be seen, but right now it looks as though the gap is going to get closed after what we witnessed in this opening set. Of course, the top 10 singles player in his own right, Jack Sock, before sort of a loss of form and some injuries happened, but his ability to return on a double score still astounding compared to at times on the single score. When he has a target, he seems so much better. You almost feel as if he could just put that discipline into his singles game, it would help him so much.
Not sure that this is a good challenge. Really good jamming serve, sliding into that forehand hip. It's a wasted challenge, that one.
30-15. Team World has 2 challenges remaining. Let second service.
You're a big stats guy when you played with Mark in doubles in terms of returns made. We saw the numbers there, sort of very poor from Rafa and Stefanos at 27%, or was it a feel thing?
I never looked at them.
Didn't you?
I knew if I was making them or not.
Because you saw the silver thing in your trophy cabinet.
You know when you're out there if you're getting enough into play or not.
Was there a number that you felt like? I remember watching some of your matches with Harhus and Elting. I mean, I kind of felt you guys were up around 80% at times, returns made. As another first serve goes in, these guys are up around 80% of their first serves going in. Sam Smith down courtside. She's going to be grabbing, I think, Thomas Enquist if he's...
Maybe the first game, huh?
Yeah. Oh, I need to make something good.
Step forward up.
Yeah. She's going to try and have a word, but Roger's kind of monopolising his time right now.
We've got time to have a very, very quick word if we just jump back here just ever so quickly. How do your guys go about breaking Nick and Jack?
It's very difficult. Obviously serving very well, and they're covering up each other really well at the net too. So you have very little space to return on. But I mean, you just need one chance. You know, we saw that in other matches. It can change very quickly, and as long as we have to focus on our own service game, stay with them, and wait for that opportunity. And when it comes, hopefully execute.
Got Todd Woodbridge and Mark Petchey up in the commentary box, and they've maybe been suggesting for Stefanos maybe to take a step back and maybe block a few returns rather than go full bore standing in. Is that something that they may consider?
I think it's. I can agree at the same time that it's something that he's not used to do. We spoke about that in the singles as well. That he really likes to go in and come over the ball all the time, and I think it's a good idea. It's just that it's important also they play, feel comfortable in doing it.
Yeah, they certainly need to make a few more returns, I'm hearing from the stats. So
that's for sure.
I'll let you enjoy this one.
Thank you.
Could have been uncomfortable if he hadn't have agreed with us, Tom.
No, very much so. But let me say this: if you're not making them and you keep on, practicing the same. What's that saying? You're good with your sayings. It's if you keep doing the same thing, it's something about madness.
Yeah, it is madness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this it? Bit of pressure being applied on Team World Serve for the first time.
30-all.
That's only 30-all. The crowd are really looking to change the momentum.
Yes, sir. 14-13.
of big serves from Kyrgios. Levels things up in the second.
1 game on.
It was kind of a bit of an adrenaline rush towards the end of that game from 30-all as well. This is where Team Europe need to be a little bit careful.
Terrific opening point by Nick Kyrgios.
Love 15.
Good discipline in that rally from him as well.
Yep. Smart shots off the forehands where he just kept these ones here. He kept it low, he kept creating space. The one up the centre, that's a miss hit, and he keeps coming forward. Well done. Oh, dear me.
15 on.
Sometimes I'm a big fan on a situation like that where Jack Sock's made that return, that they both go in together, not one as individual, but when you both go together, then it's really hard from the baseline to find a place to hit. The target is strange. Often when there's one guy up and one guy's coming, you'll see the man from the baseline play a much better shot because there's a really definitive target. Oh, and perfectly timed intercept.
15-13.
Watch where his position here starts going forward and across at the same time. Not lateral, cuts off the angle.
30
I don't know how he hits that serve out there. Great rotation at impact because the body's falling left, but still manages to get the serve going out towards the right.
Gets away with it with his height, more than anything else. Accompaniment to the shot suggested that he felt it was good when it left his strings, but just over the baseline. And there are some concerned looks on Team Europe's bench. This is an uncomfortable 45 minutes for them.
Team 1 is showing the call on the left baseline. The ball was called in.
Kyrgios pretty convinced this has gone over the baseline. More pressure on Team Europe's serve. They're not out of trouble yet.
Deuce.
Not enough coverage in the middle of the court earlier in the game, and too much in the end there.
Yeah, this is a good forehand though. Just goes through the centre. Watch the depth. Played.
Well, it would have been truly magical if he had made that, but it wasn't a B. Even John McEnroe's hit a few of those in his time, was impressed. But in the end, it's Europe who hang on to their serves.
Stay with it. We're going to have our chance. If the chance comes, we take it.
That was? You made that? I don't know if you know what
Not sweet.
It takes determination. Persevere.
Is Thomas using what we just gave him?
Hold on, got that computer, so let's just type the invoice out.
It's not there. Yeah, I agree. Hold the serve, guys, stay with them, and then there's going to be an opportunity. There always is, okay? Otherwise, you go to the break. Come on, let's go.
Game you play now. Let's go, come on. That's the game.
So positive, Nadal. So positive about everything. He was at such a low point after Indian Wells this year when he pulled out in his match again just before he played Federer. Chatting to him yesterday, he's just saying Barcelona was the turning point for him. He said even after his first match, he wasn't feeling great. Spent some time alone, gave himself a pep talk, just started inch by inch getting himself back to where he is now.
It's a loose volley from Jack Sock. He baffled himself. Shakes his head.
That was terrific from Tsitsipas, the icing on the cake applied by Nadal, but the quality of the return and the next shot so crucial.
You can see here with Tsitsipas, he knows his angles well. So this one, he's starting to take a lot through the centre, and off that ball you can both come forward. So, and that's what he does so well in singles. He reads the right one to sneak into the net. It's not about sneaking so much in doubles, but it's about the geometry. It's about the angles that you create. It's about getting position in the court.
Just wanted to kill the pace with the frame, didn't he?
Yeah, but look how well he got his eyes down behind the flight of the ball to be able to control that.
And took care of the middle of the court. So important to defend that part of the court. 3 break points for Europe.
It's interesting that you said he likes to play that to get the one cross court, because that's the hardest shot for a single-hander, to flick that one across. You tend, if it's big serve, you catch it late, so it's much easier to make it off the forehand court.
Deservedly so. Terrific attitude more than anything else from Team Europe.
Team Europe leads 3 games to 1.
And they've got their reward. Just look at Nadal's reaction. Tell Rafa that this match doesn't matter.
Difference with Kyrgios' return in the doubles. You see, he just takes a very short backswing and uses the pace of the serve, just leans in on it. As we mentioned, gets a lot of strings on the ball, a lot of racket face, and there's the big difference between what we saw Tsitsipas that previous game to what Kyrgios delivers.
talked about peripheral vision. Well, it's important at the net, and it's also important at the back. And the top players just have it slightly better than others, and he saw the move. Just held it, didn't he, on the backswing. Allowed Kyrgios to commit.
There's no answer to that.
30-15.
Good return. Good dig reflex on the first volley. And then Rafa, so many options because of how much spin he can get on this forehand. Watch him get in position. He holds again. Just too good. Terrific quality second serve.
Pretty hold from Nadal, and a little smile on his face, starting to enjoy himself now. He's got a bit of a lead here in the second set, 4-1.
Hey, it's maybe good like this. Maybe just be great to you.
Stefanos. Come on, let's go. Just we need to be a little bit more clear guys with the finger. Because they're watching. I didn't understand where you go.
What was this? What is the signal?
I did like this. Well, like this? No, let's say no. Let's do like this. You stay in the same place. You know, you go to your place.
The normal side.
Any finger you cross.
Okay, that is an absolute comedy gem. I haven't got a clue what he was showing him at the back. Well, we're going to have to just back reference it if you were away for an ad break there, because Nadal, Federer and everybody on Team Europe were just laughing their heads off there. Tsitsipas was giving a signal behind his back in the last game that Nadal was serving that Rafa had no idea what he meant.
So it was quite hilarious. We've seen him give a close fist, which means stay, but then
15 long.
Rafa felt like he was getting various finger signals. And he suggested at the end that any finger means you go.
It was all Greek to him.
30 all.
Example there for me of just being a bit too close, just not enough time to pick the ball up and not enough time to hit the volley properly. If you're that close and you can't actually follow through on your volley and because you're going to hit the net, well, you're too close.
Well, Kyrgios rushing a little bit here and just lost a little bit of the intensity, and Team Europe picking up chances galore now. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. He hasn't made too many cross-court, but he's made one down the line. And how this second set has changed around. Barely staying in the contest and now running away with it. Well, if you were listening to us just now, I believe you might get a little opportunity to listen to that conversation that Nadal, Tsitsipas, Federer were having, but possibly given the magnitude of the moment now with Europe serving for the second set.
Just we need to be a little bit more clear with the finger.
Because they're watching.
I didn't understand where you go.
No, great stuff. There's the instinct following the ball. Jack Sock knew exactly where to go each time within that rally. It's a long way back. You've got to think about their planning for a match tiebreak.
Some lovely flow off the return there, doing on his own what Todd Woodbridge has been saying, that as a team you should probably try and do a little bit better.
Yeah, if I can get this in quickly. If you had a piece of rope, let's say it was about 4 meters long, and you held it taut, and it was firm as the combination. If you moved holding that the whole way, that would be a good thing. If it got too loose or it got ripped apart, then you're not in the right momentum as a team.
Team World has 1 challenge remaining.
Team World keep the second set alive, and Jack Sock suddenly finding the kind of returns that they started the match with.
I swear to God.
Probably too late to salvage this set, though. John McEnroe, you could tell that Nick Kyrgios was rushing in his service game, and that's what he's kind of angry about. Or when I say angry, maybe too strong a word, but just trying to highlight it to Nick that, you know, keep your focus out here. There was only one break at that stage. You've suddenly recovered it, but you lost your serve because you weren't quite engaged.
Time.
First time that John McEnroe's had to do any kind of real coaching, and this had been so good, really, for Team World for the majority of it. But he was certainly giving Nick Kyrgios a good pep talk there. Keep your focus. Dropped down a couple of breaks in the second set. That was unnecessary.
15.
It's astonishing, really, to think that McEnroe won 51 of his 77 singles titles indoors, isn't it? Astonishing number. 78 doubles titles as well.
Can you say that again? 51 of
77 indoors.
That is quite extraordinary. Those days too, playing a lot on surface called Supreme, a rubberized matting surface that was so slick and slippery. He used to just shoot through. It was perfect for the lefty serve volleyer.
He won his first 9 titles indoors before winning Queens outdoors on grass. Well, this has suddenly become a little interesting, isn't it? For all the world as though we were going to get another 10-point match tiebreaker, but suddenly Team World resuscitated their challenge.
Big game coming up. There's been a real big momentum swing again in this match. So if you're Nick Kyrgios and Jack Sock, you've got to think back to that first service game that you broke, and they went down the line a lot. If they can get enough of that, it'll all depend on the tactics of Nadal. He's been spotty serving Kyrgios's forehand very well, so it's hard to then squeeze that one inside out down the line, but there's plenty of space there right now, isn't it? Yeah, he's served really smart since then. He hasn't gone for masses of speed. You don't need to when you play doubles. You need to go for accuracy. You need to be able to get the ball from the returner onto the net man's racket. And that's what Rafa's done very, very well.
30 love.
Terrific pick out from Nadal. Getting a little bit of discussion about which way Tsitsipas was going to move, but in the end both knew exactly what was going on, and another one of those wonderfully whipped forehands from Nadal off his toes, and we're on the brink of going into the 10-point match tiebreaker.
Not yet though. Smoking forehand. Socked it right through it.
got it done. Played his part in that second set, unquestionably. Tsitsipas, Nadal, the team leader. But after just after half an hour, we're at set apiece.
I hope we don't go all the way with them here.
Good stuff, Stefanos.
Yeah, I think that was enough. That was good camera work, though. Everyone was having a little jog through there. Well, we thought we were going to jog through this one, Todd, and watch this captivating tennis from Kyrgios and Sok, and obviously they came in as firm favourites to collect a couple of points for Team World, but they've got a lot of work ahead of them, and suddenly you start rolling the dice in these moments, don't you, over a 10-point match tiebreaker.
Yeah, well, this all becomes about momentum, becomes about who serves best. First serve percentages count enormously in this particular moment. And that's the sort of doubles that Tsitsipas can play. I think he can improve his doubles hugely to be a little more natural, find a little more flow. But this is all about, and you mentioned it, it's about attitude and what you can do with the right attitude, because it was all turned around by Nadal. The young players on Team Europe can learn so much this week from him and Federer about the mental game.
Passion etched on both teams' faces as they come back. Having dropped the opening set, win the second, to be fair, in fairly emphatic style here.
Time. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a 10-point match tiebreak will now be played to decide the match.
No doubting what type of person Roger Federer is. He's a glass half full every single time. Just sees the good and the possibilities, the opportunities in absolutely any situation. Can the same be said for Team World here at the start of this match tiebreak? Beautiful rainbow-shaped forehands, and how tough is that to volley?
Yeah, that one, it didn't look as difficult as it was. And, you know, I've been around a fair while. I actually played against Rafa in doubles, and when that ball is coming at you, it dips viciously, and you have to stay with it for so long. And if you don't, you end up doing what Jack did there. You just mishit it. It's just a vicious, difficult spin that comes at you.
Let first service.
Couldn't do enough. He's so annoyed with himself, but credit to Kyrgios for tracking the ball.
wind-up on the return. Look, he stepped into it, but because it's such a big wind-up, he catches that ball late, almost in the throat, spins off the wrong way. That's the one that's just got to be like a little block, maybe just a little block chip, cross-court, short. Jack Sock's not serve volley. Bring him forward, maybe get it off the backhand. From Team World.
Team World.
Over the 3 Laver Cups, it's Team World that have not been able to win these tight ones as often as they would have liked. And if they're going to win here in Geneva, win the Laver Cup for the first time, they have to win this tiebreak. As they change ends after the first 6 points, Petch, for me, it's all about the team that goes searching for it at net now. Who takes calculated risk, goes and finds the ball to get on their racket, not sit back and just maybe hope it comes their way, not backpedal at the wrong moment. All up to taking control of the net. Is a long rally, 16 shots in a doubles match is as long as it gets.
4-3. Team World.
Fluctuations for the neutrals. He's picked himself up incredibly well this is where he would have felt a little uncomfortable having missed that volley after everything that had happened in that previous rally.
He did really well then, good footwork, stayed behind the ball. Watch him here. Reads that one well controlled. Didn't overplay.
I think I should. That's a good point.
It's well halfway there. 5-4. 10-point tie break in the third. Keep the camera
camera's on John Isner. I think there's a new celebration coming up from him. Look at him, he's already halfway to the bench. Touch of genius. Right time, right place, right shot. So important to find the space on a doubles court when you're trying to pick off your opponents as well. Don't always go through them. Done a good job there, the Australian.
Good stuff. Kyrgios has just raised his level on those 2 points. Great racket control there to get that one down the line, and then Rafa not with a lot of chance to defend there.
Isner's hoping it's the knockout punch that Team World wanted in this match tiebreak. It possibly was. Awesome. Big for the spirit for Team World as well, heading into tomorrow if they can grab this.
Tsitsipas was there then. Costly miss.
Started this match tiebreaker down a mini break, but they have just reeled in Team Europe, and suddenly Team World with 5 match points.
Kyrgios did everything perfectly then. He took it early, short back swing, gets it down.
9-6.
And that is just brilliance to keep this doubles alive from Nadal.
Terrific doubles by both sides, but ultimately Thiem well too strong. Everybody felt they were the favourites, but it's not so important in terms of the fact Thiem will still need to win 2 matches tomorrow, but psychologically, Todd, that was huge.
Absolutely, it's big. Remember, we start tomorrow with the doubles as well. I think we'll see Jack Sock out there again tomorrow, probably with John Isner to get...